Hello everyone, welcome to Go Man Go. I'm your host Chris, and today we are going to review another disc. Now it's a beautiful December day, sunny, it is a little chilly, and it is windy. So a little bit of wind kind of comes and goes, and so I'm not sure how this is going to work with the sound or if the camera's going to move too much, but it's such a beautiful day for near the end of December, so we got to get out and do another review. And today we're going to review a mid-range. Now you want to use a mid-range disc when you don't need to use a driver, because it's not as far as for a driver, but it's too close to use an approach or a putter. So a mid-range is kind of in between. Usually the speed number is around 4 or 5. So it's kind of the in-between disc. I mean, you can drive with the mid-range if you want. The speed doesn't always mean that's how far it's going to go, but it does give you a good idea of the arm speed that it's going to take. So sometimes I drive with the mid-range on maybe a short hole, but not very rarely. Usually I use it once I'm in the fairway. And today we're going to review the Tursas by Westside Discs. Now this is becoming one of my favorite mid-ranges to use. I don't know if it's because it's the way it glides through the air, the distance I can get from it, or if it's the way it turns, or the way the plastic feels. I really like this disc, and I think this plastic is the Regio Burst. I might be wrong on that. I'll put it on the screen if I find out it's a different plastic. But it's beautiful, it's pink, and it's got this burst in it, so that kind of makes sense for the name, right? And the numbers on it are a 5 speed, a 5 glide, -2 turn, and a 1 fade. So on the speed, it's kind of the higher end of the mid-ranges. Usually are 4s or 5s. On the glide, a 5 glide is really nice. I think this really moves through the air nice. -2 turn. So this disc should turn to the right for me when I'm throwing my backhand, and I'm a right-handed backhanded thrower. It's going to turn to the right for me, and then ever so much fade back into the left. So that's how the disc should work. Now I told you there's some wind. The wind is going to be at my back, so it should push my disc nice, but coming back may be a challenge when I throw the disc. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it a couple of times, and let's see what we get. All right, so that disc coming back in the wind just was not working out for me. Usually it was going way to the right, a little bit sometimes on the left. I just couldn't seem to throw it very well into the wind. So sorry about that, not going to be able to show you coming back. One thing I like about this disc, instead of how it kind of almost goes straight for me, just a -2 and a 1 to come back in, is that if I put a little bit of anhyzer on this, I can really make this disc go to the right. Or if I put a little hyzer on it, then it'll really go to the left for me. So let me show you those. I just tried a roller with that thing, and I get more distance rolling it than I do throwing it, so it actually rolls really well. Hopefully you got an idea of how that disc flies through the air and how you can throw it. All throws I did were backhand, because this disc does not work very well for me throwing forehand. When I was throwing backhand, I did some with flat, and I did some with anhyzer, some with hyzer, just to give you an idea how the disc will move for you. I want to show you here the dominess of it. It's got a little bit of a dome. It comes up from the rim there, and then it flattens out up top. So it's really not too domey, but it glides really nice in the air. And there's something else about the disc, and I guess it's because it's a mid-range, it doesn't like you to throw it too hard. So you got to find your own arm speed that's going to make it fly better. Whenever I try to throw it hard, because I want to get more distance, it usually doesn't perform very well for me. So make sure that you don't give it too much arm speed. Well, I hope you learned something new about this disc. Maybe you're thinking about purchasing it. Hopefully this will help you. If you throw this disc and you want to leave some comments about how it flies for you, how you throw it, go ahead and do that. I want to ask you to like and subscribe so you can keep up on all the videos. Try to put one out about every week or every other week. All right, last thing I have to say is go, man, go. Get out and throw.